everyone. Welcome to the My Kind of Thing University. Uniqua the Unicorn, crochet together, crochet along, where we are creating that cute little unicorn back there. It is Friday and we are on part two. So if you are crocheting with us, you have Uniqua's head and body. And tonight, together, we are working on her limbs. So she has arms and legs. I'm going to give you all a few minutes to join while I gather my things. And let me also make sure that it is running well. That's where sometimes there are things that pop up and you're just like, what the heck is that? Let me just make sure everything is running right. Okay. Seems alright. Can you hear me alright? If you are there, just let me know if you can hear me. There is some background sound because this is the Bronx, and I also have a fan running. But let me know if you can hear me or if it's hard to hear me. Just let me know. Clothes are fitting poorly these days. Welcome. I'm excited. Thank you so much, Maddie. I appreciate it. Hey, Shrek, welcome. Hey, Nora. I just got a notification that says my car insurance is expiring. How about that? I don't know how my car insurance can expire. I don't have a car. But if you are new here, my name is Uniqua and I am the artist, the designer behind My Kind of Thing, a handmade company that specializes in one-of-a-kind handmade dolls, particularly dolls of color, and even more specifically, black and brown dolls. And today, thank you, Maddie. Today we're working on that unicorn back there. A little slight deviation from our usual doll making, but crocheting nonetheless. If you are interested in participating in obtaining the instructions for Uniqua the Unicorn, in the description of this live are the links for the pattern, the links for the materials, and this is what we're working on. Can you see her? Look at those eyes. Can you see the sparkly, iridescent unicorn eyes? Hey, Peggy / overachiever. You are ahead of the game. No delinquency on you for this go around. But I thought we'd kind of clear our palettes a little bit with the unicorn instead of the usual doll that we are always making. Different types of dolls. But like I said, I love her unicorn eyes. So if you're interested in purchasing the yarn or the pattern, the companion pack comes with the yarn, not the white, but the fairy berry, the mermaid water, and the pixie pop colors. And it comes with a really cool custom cut set of unicorn eyes. This is what we're working on today. And so for my second version, I am using Hobby Lobby's, what is this called? Crushed raspberry. Hey, Chastity. So that's what I'm doing conversion. It's a speckled pink and gray yarn. And so if you are following the pattern, I tell you, these sleeves, they just slide down. If you are following along with the pattern, we are working on the limbs, right? Let me pull out the hooves, the bottom of the hooves, because that's the other thing. They're not technically limbs if it's a unicorn. They're hooves, unicorn hooves, hooves, Hooves. Hooves. All right, let me just make sure. Why do I have? I'm missing one. Y'all know I keep a million things that I'm working on all at once. Some pixie pop. All right, I'm like, I know I'm made for. I got so much stuff in this bag. This bag has 3 projects in it that I am actively working on all at once. Okay, so we have the hooves for the front legs, or the front limbs, and we have the hooves for the back legs, or in the case of our Uniqua stands upright. She doesn't, do that. So, I mean, there's 2 ways you can attach them, but I like this attachment, so we got the front hooves and I guess the back hooves. And so we're working on this. So how do you all feel about this cute little design? I'm gonna put her back here so that if people want to know what we're doing, if they're coming in late, I can simply point to Uniqua behind me. Okay, so that being said, let me pick up my hook. We have the 3.25 millimeter hook. That is the majority of the pattern requirement. Let me pull up the pattern here. So are y'all excited? Because I'm excited. Every now and then. Oh, okay, I'm like, why is it not coming up? There we go, unicorn. Uniqua the Unicorn. We are up to part 2, which is the hooves. Which is crazy because the way it's written, the ears and the body, the hair, the flowers, and the ears are next on the pattern, but yeah, part 2 says limbs, so we're gonna go with that. And I already have the basis or the foundation for the hooves, which is the first 7 rows, right? And so after the 7th row, that's where we change the color, and we're going into the back loops only and decreasing at the same time, so we can begin. Do y'all have any questions or anything? I see shout out to Peggy Gibbs. Peggy Gibbs is ahead of the curve. She's ahead of the game, y'all. She has already finished her limbs, her head and body. So I guess, Peggy, you'll be working on the ears, the flowers, the unicorn horn, maybe the wings. Like, I don't even know. I don't know what part 3 is, but yeah. How are you all feeling this evening? How are you feeling about the pattern? I really like it, and I'm not just saying that because I designed it. I really like how she sits. My only regret, I only got one regret, y'all, for those who know me, You know what the one regret is? I think I mentioned it briefly on Wednesday. My one regret is that I didn't use sparkly yarn for this design. I should have used the sparkly white. And I mean, she still would have cute, but that sparkly white would have, oh, it would have lit it up. It would have lit it up. Um, and I still think I'm going to do another one with sparkly white. But I'm working on this version, another, the raspberry crush, the crushed raspberry. You can't really see the speckle because the light is like kind of washing it out. But it's a pink speckle with gray. And that's the other thing. I gotta find my silver or my metallic yarn, because for that I want the horn to be silver. So, but we gonna work it out. So we're starting on the hooves. Okay. And we're on. Okay. Forgive me, I might be crashing a little bit. Hey, I know, one virtuous woman. It's good to see you. Oh my gosh. How's everything? How's everything? It has been a while. Quite a while. Forgive me if I yawn. I'm actually crashing from probably about 4 hours of sleep. I had coffee, so I felt really good most of the day. But, you know, it might be starting to wear off. I think it's expiring. You know what's so funny? So I'm noticing that I'm getting a lot of grays in my hair, right? And the reason why it's hilarious is because when I first spotted the first gray hair I got was the one that's like right here in the front. Or the first one I've ever seen, because there might be some in there somewhere. I have a lot of hair, right? And it's very, very thick. So there might have been grays hiding in there. Thank you, Rosetta. The thing is, the first time I spotted a gray hair, right? I thought it was polyester fiber film. I was like, how the heck did I get polyester fiber film in my hair? And I went to pull it, and I was like, wait a minute. That hurt. It's really tangled in my hair. Again, never dawned on me, yo, you got gray hairs. That's yours. That came out of your head. I was like, oh shoot, it's really tangled in there. Like, did I twist it up with my lock or whatever? And then I realized, I said, oh my gosh, no, you didn't land smack dab right in the middle in the front of my head. Like, what? I was so offended. But I went through three stages? First, I'm like, polyester fiber film. Then I'm like, it's tangled in there. And then I was like, oh no, you got a gray hair just like right there in the front. Hilarious mistake. I couldn't believe, I said, and the fact that I assumed, that it was polyester fiber film was hilarious to me. Yeah, I haven't had my hair retwisted since, shoot, I don't remember. My sister will probably remember the last time I had it twisted. I have to go through my photos to kind of get a gauge of when the last time I got it twisted. I don't remember. But you know, sometimes I kind of do a little interlocking, just to keep it from getting too crazy, because it will try. So, yeah, I legit thought the first time I saw gray hair, the first time I realized I was getting gray hair, it was assumed that it was polyester fiber film. And I was just like in complete and utter denial of the fact that, hey, it's not unrealistic for you to have gray hairs growing out of your head at this point. You're not a You're not a young spring chicken anymore. So that was a hilarious discovery. And if it wasn't so funny, I think I might have just been like, oh man, I'm getting older. Just snuck up on me. So I'm going in the back loops. I should probably hold it up so you can see. But yeah, that was freaking hilarious. So we are in the back loops only, and we are decreasing. Okay. So, and like I said, forgive me if I yawn. I am tired, and I had coffee, and coffee usually makes me really chatty. But I think I chatted myself out with my mom because that's who I was with earlier today. And that was the reason for me only being able to get about 4 hours of sleep. But yeah. Let me. But the realization that I'm getting older wasn't. I was just like, oh shoot, like you know how I think, and I don't know, cause I'm I'm in my 40s, I'm 43, right? I think just based off of my mother and my aunts and even my father, I feel like most of us don't really realize we're getting old until something says, hey, you're not young. And I say getting older because to me, actual old is probably like maybe 80s, 90s. You know, like I just feel like I know senior citizen is like, what do they say, 65 or 60? I think it's 60. It's lower now. It used to be 65. But I don't think that's old because the references that I have for 60s, like my aunt is 64. She'll be 65 in a couple of months. And she just doesn't give me senior citizen vibes. So, I have a wide range of understanding of what old is numerically, so, um, but yeah, it was just like, oh shoot, hey, gray hairs, there you go. Just showing up right there. The fact, like I still can't get over the fact that I really thought it was polyester fiber fill tangled up in my hair, retwisted possibly with my locks. Like that's how unaware of realism I was at the time. Like, this was like, I want to say this was probably maybe a year, 2 years ago. And ever since then, I've just been noticing them just sprouting up. Like, who sent you? Like, come on now, chill out. You're doing too much. Now I look in the mirror and I can see them in other places. And see, I don't even care about those other places because I got to be looking for that. But the fact that the one I recognized was smack dab in the middle, in the front, it was like, oh, okay, now you're just disrespectful, Yeah, and see, the thing is, it's a crapshoot with me because my father grayed really, really fast and grayed hard, right? My mother, on the other hand, it was very, very slow. And so I don't know. It's looking like, and I'm a lot of times with certain things, I think I am like a really good blend of mother and father. So I get a lot of their blended qualities. So I'm gonna assume and maybe hope, because the other thing is because my hair is locked, I'm gonna grow gray in the scalp, and it'll be gray and everything else will be black brown. And I'm like, how do I feel about that if that's what happens? I don't know. I'm an all kind of person. If it's all gonna go be great, then do that. But the other thing too is that my hair always implies that I'm older. It's like I've been older when I was younger. Like, I've just, my hair being locked, I locked my hair at 18. It was always assumed that I was older than what I actually am because what I look like, and then you couple that with my personality, you know, giving old soul vibes, and I'm cool with that. But I'm also like, okay, now being the actual age of someone who should appropriately be getting some grays. I don't know. I've not dyed my hair since I was 18. I think the last time I dyed my hair, I was 18 years old. And I actually don't like the idea of dyeing it. Okay. Oh, hey, Patricia. I'm sorry, I didn't see you. Because it pops up and disappears here, but here I can see it better. Let me move this over so. Because that's the other thing, trying to see the comments and where the pattern is. Oh, crap. Okay, there we go. Let me make this bigger. And over. Yeah. So yeah, I ain't tripping about being gray, but it's just the idea of having half gray or being gray up here and then nothing down here is kind of like, what are you doing? You know. And again, one of the reasons why I lock my hair is because I don't like the idea of chemicals and stuff. So I don't know that I could commit to dyeing it, even if I wanted to. I wouldn't commit to it. I couldn't commit to it. So, okay, so I just finished row, what is that? Why do I keep losing place? Row 8. Ooh. Okay, 9 and 10 is just regular. But yeah, this is gonna be cute. This is gonna be cute. Oh, and I'm gonna have to get some rest tonight because I'm tired, like really tired. But if you're just coming in or you're catching us on the replay, we are making Uniqua the Unicorn, and I'm really excited about this design. And a part of me is like, Uniqua needs like a buddy, you know? Like there needs to be a doll with that color scheme and some unicorn components. So I don't know. Part of me is fighting the urge to make a doll to go with Uniqua, like a set. And I don't know if I should or if I will. But we'll see, because sometimes it'd be like that. But yeah, it's Friday. Can you believe it? We made it. We made it to Friday. Anybody got any special plans this weekend? I have special plans. I have special plans to crochet. I'm actually getting ready to be back in the classroom in September. So, and I'm a little excited about it. A little nervous, but a little excited because I've been out of the classroom officially for over 12 years. And so, I'm like, oh shoot, the colors need to change for a boy. For a boy, it depends on how you feel, right? If I were doing a boy, I think what I would do is I would use a series of blues. And maybe you could keep the purple in, it depends. My cousin, one of my cousins, his favorite color is periwinkle. Well, it used to be periwinkle, and then it was like, oh, okay, that's really cool. Um, and now I think his favorite color is like purple, like royal purple. Hey, Blue Jay. And so it doesn't need to change. I mean, if you feel a way about the pink, you know, my nephew's favorite color when he was 4 was pink, and he didn't care. He just loved pink. Hey, Linda. Um, so I don't know, you know, if you're like one of those people that are just like, you know, whatever, there are ways to make it more masculine, I guess. If that's a thing that you wanted to do, I would take the pink out. Um, I would do a series of blues. Maybe I wouldn't do the flowers. Maybe instead of the flowers, I would do bangs similar to the mane. You know, I never thought, well, I'm not going to say I never thought of it. Not for nothing. Before I named her, it was neither boy or girl. I was like, this could be a he or a she because that's just the way my mind works. I don't really care so much about those things, especially when it comes to imagination and creating. Um, I love the idea of a boy ladybug. I don't know what movie that was. I think it was A Bug's Life. I think either A Bug's Life or Ants. I can't remember. I always get them mixed up. But the ladybug was this grumpy dude, and I thought that was hilarious because all ladybugs ain't ladies, you know. So maybe all unicorns aren't girls, right? Like, and so if it were a boy unicorn, maybe the lashes would go. I wouldn't use the lashes, but I would use just the eye. Everyone doesn't know the sex, so I'm going to make a couple. Well, here's the thing. I would change the color if I wanted it to be unisex. And see, for me, I guess, and maybe this is just old teachings and old ways. It's not etched in stone. But if I were making a unisex version of this, I would forego the pink. I would forego the flowers. The horn makes it a unicorn. You know, and I guess the other elements make it a pretty unicorn, right? But if we are operating in the realm of boy girl, I wouldn't have flowers for the boy. I mean, or if I wanted to keep the flowers, I would do them in a medley of blues, you know, like a blue mix of yarn, like a bunch of blues. That way it's still like, you know, a boy, because blue still is for boys like pink is for girls in a sense of imagery. Not necessarily, oh, if you're a boy, you can't like pink. If you're a girl, you can't like blue or you can't wear it. That's not what I mean. I just mean that there is a imagery associated with blue and pink. They're assigned to gender, female, male. That's my own personal feelings about it. I don't always apply that rule either, though. Like I said, my nephew, I thought it was so cute how he loved the color pink. I'm like, and he's now 24 years old. He doesn't remember loving pink, but I remember it because it was something that was so distinctively different and unique. I was like, oh, that's so cool that he's a little kid and nobody was able to talk him out of liking pink. I thought it was really cool and very, very, what's the word? Confident of him, meaning like he wasn't like when somebody told him, why do you like pink? Pink is for girls, you know. He'd be like, no, I like pink. I like pink. And it's not for girls because I like pink and I'm not a girl. And that was his rationale. And so he just liked it. I'm like, pink is nice. And I thought it was too cute that this boy liked pink. Now he's 24 years old and he's over 6 feet and, you know. Okay. Okay. So yeah. A unicorn. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. Oh, that would be cool. Silver and gold for the. That's actually a great idea, Linda. Linda says instead of flowers, use stars. Oh, that is actually really cool. And just really cool and really fun. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Now here's the thing. I told you I'm working on 3 more versions of one of the versions. I don't want to show y'all just yet, but actually the third version that I'm working on could be for a boy because of what I'm doing with it. But I didn't think of it in that way. I just thought of it. These colors would be cool. I don't know that I'm going, but I like the stars idea. That's actually really cool for a boy unicorn instead of the flowers using stars. Oh, that's a really good idea. Okay, Linda, I got to give you credit because I might have to swap that out, see what that looks like. I've never actually crocheted stars, but I understand the concept. Other than the baby you're a star crochet along, that was a big star, 5 points. So little stars. I like that. I like that. Okay, so what more? Change color. Okay, we're gonna get it down on row 11. We're gonna get it down from 18 to 16. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a really good idea because I don't think I've ever seen stars as a substitute for the flowers. That's really cool and creative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and here's the thing. So remember how excited I was telling y'all about the idea I had for a Halloween and how I'm like, y'all are never gonna guess it because I made it up and I had never seen it before. Well, I did what I usually do when I come up with what I think is an original concept, and I type it in Google just to see if there's ever been any attempt on this. Turns out it wasn't as original as I thought. So apparently it actually is a thing, and I don't know how I didn't know. I'm in my own little bubble thinking I did something creative and brand new and nobody's ever done it before, and that is not the case. So I'm debating on whether or not I'm doing it, because the other thing is the way I saw it done was not the way I envisioned doing it. So I think I'm still gonna do it, but I may just have to commit to, like, now having seen how people have done it, and I'm like, it never dawned on me to do it that way, which is weird. And now I'm feeling less confident about the way that I was gonna do it, and I'm trying to decide if I should stick to it. But the thing is, before I saw that people had been doing it, I felt really, really confident about it. And then when I looked and I saw that people had done this, I was like, oh, I felt really, really disappointed. But then I also was like, well, I wasn't going to do it like that at all. But now I'm questioning the way I was going to do it. I don't know if it would have translated the same. And so, having talked this out just now in this moment, I'm going to still do it, but I'm going to have to really do it in a way where, because looking at how people did it, I'm like, that's not what I envisioned. It's so crazy, and I was conflicted, but now I feel like, nah, do your thing, like you're known to do your kind of thing, and that's it. So again, I thought it was original because I had, just thought of it while walking and whatnot, and thought it'd be really cool. But it turns out it's been done before, which, so I guess I'm not the originator of the concept. But my version, or my version of that concept, I think is original because, again, I seen it done, but none of them were what I envisioned. Even the color what people use versus what I had in mind to use, that's not so, you know. So when I do it, and I still think, even though it's popular that people have done it, I still don't think y'all are gonna guess it. I thought it was such a crazy thought, such a crazy thing. I'm like, oh, that's so clever. And yeah, people have never done it and are doing it. And they do it around Halloween time. Like, okay, but I'm gonna do it like no other. Yeah. Cause I'm like, when I saw it, I was like, oh, not only is this not an original idea that you thought it was, but that's not how you was gonna do it, and that's what everybody I guess knows it as, right? And so I'm like, nah, you know what? And like I said, in this conversation, in this moment right here, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna do it anyway, and I'm gonna do it how I saw it, and I hope it translates. So, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and I'm really gonna have to get started on it because now I have some sort of reference in my head. I have to work really hard to not accidentally incorporate through, stop. I know, but sometimes I want to be so original. Like I want to be the only or the first. Like that's a goal sometimes. Sometimes when I do things, I'm like, not all the time, because you see people do unicorns all the time, whatever. But when I'm really, really in my, we about to do something great. I really like the idea of doing things that no one has ever done. A lot of my doll designs and concepts, I'm the only one who does them this way. I'm the only, or I am the originator of it. Originator of these hairstyles and textures, and even the way that I mix colors and use colors, I am very, very adamant about. I know that people love neutrals and people love pastels, and I think those are great, but I like neons and vivids and brights. And I love color. I love pops of color. And so, so, yeah. So after making 18 to 16, it was small. Okay. Just got to follow the pattern. Make sure you're following the pattern. Yeah, I was so excited, but then I'm like, oh man, somebody done beat me to it. But now we ain't gonna let them beat me to it. I'm going to, ooh yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna do it so good. I'm gonna do it so good. They're gonna be like, oh, okay. I'll be like, yeah. Because that's how we do it. But yeah, I just got that confidence in this moment, in this conversation, talking out loud. Because yesterday, I was like, oh, I can't do it. Because they're already doing it. But now I'm going to do it. I feel really strong about it. And not only that, I'm going to do it and the other thing. And the thing about it, I was thinking about the other thing. And I was going through my notes. Because I have been restoring videos, re-uploading videos that Facebook deleted, right? The one that I have saved. So if you are interested in doing the breast cancer awareness doll workshop, all 4 parts are back up. The original video is back up. So if you purchased it and haven't used it yet, it's back up and you can get to work whenever you feel like you want to get started. If you haven't purchased it and you are interested in purchasing it, it is available for you to purchase. No, nobody guessed it. Nobody guessed it, but I'm saying like I legit thought I was being original, and I had like whenever I think I'm being like really, really original, I use Google and I type in what I'm thinking and I search images on it. And when I did this, I learned that it wasn't an original idea. It wasn't at all original, meaning people had already done it. So I wasn't being funny and innovative. like I was when I created the zombie candy corn horn, unicorn, Pegasus, bat-winged, that whole thing. I gotta figure out a shorter name for it. Because trying to explain this to somebody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, they're gonna be like, a what? Okay. Um, my goddaughter slash little cousin explained to me that you have a unicorn and you have a Pegasus. When you mix the two, which is you have a horse with a unicorn horn and wings for flying, it is called an alicorn. And I said, oh, excuse me. So apparently Uniqua. So she was explaining this to me when I had finished Uniqua. And she was like, so she's not a unicorn, she's an alicorn. And I said, well, her mother's a unicorn and she was raised by her mother. So she don't identify with her Pegasus side. Yeah, but I also still feel like sometimes, Chastity, I really want to just be like, I did this and nobody else thought of this. And I was really on one on Wednesday. I was like, yeah, y'all ain't gonna get it because it don't exist and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, it does exist. Y'all not gonna guess it though. I bet you're not gonna guess it because I really think it's kind of crazy that it exists so much, but it must have gotten popular or something then. But it's still weird. But yeah, so she's an alicorn, but she don't really know her father's side like that. She was raised by her mother, so, and her mother is a unicorn, so whatever. And so that's how that goes. Now here's the thing, and having that conversation, like maybe 3 years ago, it was 3 years ago, I was working on a hybrid of a dragon and unicorn combination. I have lost all of my notes on it. I don't know where they are, but I have pictures that I'm going to have to work from because I was working on it on paper, but loose paper, not in a notebook. But yeah, so Uniqua is not a unicorn. She's an alicorn, whatever, because she got the wings and the unicorn horn. But like I said, she was raised by her mother, so she don't know her Pegasus side. So yeah, she's the only one that can fly. Mother doesn't fly because mother doesn't have wings. Because her mother's a unicorn, not a Pegasus. So I thought it was really cool. Like that was my explanation to make what I was doing right. Hilarious. 1, 2, oh, what is that? 8, 9, 10. I just want to make sure I ain't got no mistakes. Okay. Because y'all know I be sitting here talking. Hello? Hey, honey dip. Huh? You did not. And when I realized what it was, because I started to ask Serene what it was, I'm glad I didn't. But let me call you back. I'm live right now. No, you're okay. You're home? Okay, I'll call you when I'm done. All right. Sorry. Oh, crap. I hate when you know how you pull and the thing comes out. Try to make me lose my place. Don't do that. But yeah. So I'm gonna do my thing. I am. But I was so hyped. I was like, yeah, I'm about to do something that's never been done before. Because the other thing too that I did that I was really proud of, I've done a few things where I've Googled them. I'm like, oh, they don't even do this. They ain't even do this. And I've done this now a few times whenever I feel like, oh, you a genius, you did it. Um, you know, I have these conversations with myself, and then just to confirm, I do a Google search and I be like, yeah, you got it. I had when I did Shimmy the Baby Mermaid, I'm like, I wonder what other people's baby mermaids look like. Wasn't no baby mermaids. What I saw was so disturbing. There was supposedly a baby born with defects or something, and it's a baby that had its legs fused together. I was like, okay, not what I was talking about. Chill out. You know, so I'm like, that's crazy. Like, so no, there, no baby unicorn exists. As far as imagery and stuff like that. Um, and so I was like, yeah. So Shimmy was an original idea, because then I started thinking, why have we never seen baby mermaids? Like, I don't have a reference for baby mermaid. And where would you find a baby mermaid? And so that whole thought process was how Shimmy was came into existence. And again, with the candy corn horned bat winged zombie Pegasus. I knew it didn't exist because it was a strange combination of things. You know, a unicorn horn, but it's candy corn. You know, the fact that it's a zombie, so the coloring is either gray or green. Um, or did I do purple? I don't know. I don't remember. Then instead of the wings that a Pegasus would have, I gave it bat wings. Uh, you know, so there was that. Um, and then, like I said, the zombie, you know, the cuts with the stitching, like it was stitched up and stuff like that. You know, so I knew it didn't exist because there was no way for me to even really name it officially, or you know, so I knew it didn't exist. I didn't even bother to Google search it because it was such a mesh of different things. Um, so I'm like, yeah. So every now and then, when I really have a cool concept, I'm like, let me Google search it to see if it's been done before, if it exists in any form. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be in crochet. I even be looking to see if it's in, you know, just visual art, like anybody drew something like that. That's how I this came up with the concept of a combination of a unicorn and a dragon. And it's not been crocheted, but it has been drawn. Like, you know, of course, people have mixed it, and I expected that people have drawn it maybe or created it in, you know, in storytelling or something, any kind of mythology or something. But I'm like, I know ain't nobody crocheted it. Then I still, like I said, I lost the components in the writing, so I'm gonna have to redo it and start from scratch. I don't know when I will. By the time I do, somebody will have crocheted it. I don't know, but again, my ideas, the way that I want to do things, or the way that I see things, is always going to be original. So, you know, there's that. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let me just make sure. 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. So we're going to bring it in from 16 to 14. So yeah, those things, um, that really does sometimes play a factor in, you know, how I do things. My goal is to be original. You know, it's not just for the sake of just being like, yeah, you're the best, or you're the this. Sometimes it's for it's for safety purposes. Like, it has a practical use of it, meaning the more original I am, the more I guess the less likely somebody can just steal some of my ideas and concepts. You know, when I can legitimately just be like, yo, I came up with this concept, and it's so original that if you do a search of it, if there is another person who has thought of this, or it's just a small very, very small number of people who, like it just makes it more, it makes me feel like, okay, I'm doing something really cool that nobody else is doing. And so if somebody more popular comes along and gets all kinds of accolades and praises for it, you know, because that happens. And I guess, I don't know, I don't even know if this is an effective way of thinking, but there has been incidents where people come up with things, original ideas and concepts, but they don't have the amount of eyes on them. And so somebody who is less creative takes the idea of someone who is less popular, and they get all kinds of accolades and recognition for something that they didn't design or they didn't come up with originally. And they never say, oh, I was inspired by, or this person was the originator. They never do that. They always take the credit, but they don't ever explain that they got inspiration from a lesser known artist. And that I've seen happen so many times. And it's also very, very frustrating that a lot of times the folks who are popular aren't as creative or skilled as people who are not that popular. And there are people whose whole existence banks on more creative people. So they're not necessarily creative, but they did something or something hit with them. And even sometimes it ain't even necessarily, there are some people that have gotten popular off of something that they didn't originate or create themselves, that somebody else did. And it's so frustrating when you are the originator of a thing and somebody comes along and takes your concept and gets really, really popular, even more popular off of your concept. And so again, I don't even know if this is a logical precaution, but I feel better knowing that, yes, this was my own original idea. I'm executing it, and I came up with it, So even if I see a more popular person doing it, I can still say I got dates on my things. As you all know, when you receive my patterns, there is a copyright date on it. So, or a copyright year, that's one. And for me, the photography, all of my photography is dated. Like, it has a date and time and all of that on it. So for me, if ever I had to be like, listen, this was an original thing that I created it first. If ever I have to defend that, because there are occasions where, people's ideas and concepts overlap, but often times, especially being black, people love to take and steal and popularize things that originated, in our spaces. And so, it makes me feel better to know that I'm really putting my best foot forward. I'm really trying to make sure that I'm coming up with something original. When I really think I've done it, I do a little Google search to see if it exists. I'll do a little Pinterest search to see if this exists, and crochet. And I feel even more validated when I know it doesn't exist, when it doesn't come up in a Google search. But I'm going to do this. And it is in the Google search, but mine, I don't even care. The way I saw it and the way I've seen it now, I'm like, no, I'm still gonna do it. And it's cute. It's just cute. It's cute and I like it. So I'm gonna do it. 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 And when I do it, it's going to be glorious. It's gonna be really cute. So I think that's how we're giving it up. But yeah. Okay, now I'm on roll 15. Yes, let me just make sure all of my stitches and everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna do it. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because we're gonna get popular. It's going down. I was thinking about it today. 2025 has been a year of transitioning for me. And I've had to talk myself through a lot of feelings. And I really do love crocheting. I really love crocheting in the context of doll making. I think imagery is important, especially imagery that represents Black and brown girls. And the mission statement for my kind of thing is to promote pride and confidence and children, particularly girls, maybe more specifically Black and brown girls, boys too, but specifically Black and brown girls in efforts to combat self-hate. I was an avid, not doll collector. As a kid, I loved dolls. Like, I always had a doll with me. We were always going somewhere, doing something. And I would play for hours with my dolls. Most of them were white. And as a kid, I just didn't know better. I loved them all because they were the cutest dolls ever. And I love them, and I still have them. But when I was about 8, I got my first black doll. And I really felt like, oh, this one I really love. And as a kid, I didn't understand what it was that made me really love the black one. But as an adult now, I can see, because that was the one that most looked like you. And when you are playing with dolls, and you see children playing pretend, oftentimes it's showing you how they feel about themselves, how they're treated by other people around them, and all of this you can observe. Again, I'm going back into the classroom. My background is education. And so with all of that understanding, when I realized as an adult, like, oh shoot, that's why you love the brown one, the black doll, so much, because she was your representative. She looked most like you. And so I began making dolls and understanding the importance of using good browns. I understood the importance of hairstyles and textures that represent black and brown girls. It became a priority. I'm in the Bronx, so I'm sorry. This is how they do. 15, 16, 17. This is how they do. So it's a one-way street. And if anybody's, parked, like letting someone out or taking stuff out the car, it's a narrow one-way street. And it's the Bronx, New York. New York is always in a hurry, always got somewhere to be. And it is what, 9 o'clock? It's 8:30. And still, just Bronx stuff. But yeah. And so, black doll making is a big deal to me. It is a huge motivation for what I do. And so, in saying that this year tried to tear me up, this year has really been testing my resolve. It has kind of, I don't want to say it brought me back to zero, but it has challenged me or dared me to quit. If I'm being transparent, this year has dared me to quit. Like, look, that ain't working out. That ain't happening. This didn't go the way you wanted it to, or this is, moving slowly and all of those things. This year has dared me. Like, I dare you. What you gonna do? That's what this year is talking in my face. Like, what you gonna do? You still trying to do that? Oh, you still doing that? Well, look, it ain't gonna do what it used to do, or it's not doing what it used to do. What you gonna do? This year has dared me. It's been talking crazy to me, and so I'm like, hey, I'm on a live. I'm gonna call you back. Oh, all right, so I didn't know. No, I know. All right, I'll call you back. All right. All right. It's my little sister. Yup. I'm telling you, squaring up, Chastity, squaring up, like, smack me a few times. Like, I'm not even gonna say squaring up. 2025, straight smacked me in my mouth a couple of times, like, and what you gonna do? And I'm gonna tell you, before that phone rang, I was explaining that, for a minute I was like, nothing, and I'm sorry. I can't, at the beginning, I legit was like, you got it. 2025, I don't even want no smoke. I'm gonna just go and be quiet and go back and work for the man. like for a minute, I just let 2025 pump me. It was a short minute though. But I'm gonna tell you, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm gonna tell you, almost had me. Yeah, almost had me. Almost had me, Linda. Almost had me. Almost got me. A couple of times I was like, okay, I can't, 2025, all right, heard you. It's whatever you say, you got it. And I'm going to tell you, like, when I think about it, I got to take a minute. Because there have been moments where I'm like, oh, shoot, this is not going the way that I envisioned it. It's not going the way I need it to go. I can't. You got it. You got it. And I had to think. And I had to remember. And I had to look through what I had already done. And I couldn't come up with a good enough reason to quit. Ultimately, other than it felt bad and it felt hard, or it got difficult. And it got hard. It got so hard that I almost forgot. It got so hard that I almost disregarded the work that I had been building on for years. I had to think about it, like, you're really just you're gonna just not keep this going, you're really gonna just not, and I had to talk to myself, we've been having these conversations for years, right? We talk to ourselves, and we gotta talk to ourselves a certain way, depending on certain circumstances, and 2025 was talking real bad to me. 2025 was like, man, listen, I don't know what you're gonna do, but it ain't what you've been doing, right? That's what 2025 was saying to me. And then my inner voice was like, yo, you heard what he said? I think he's serious. He really about to shut us down. 2025, is freaking strong-arming you into quitting and to just giving up, because it's hard. It has been hard, but things be hard. How can I say that in a proper dialect? things get difficult. Things be difficult. Things get hard. My aunt is coming in, so I can hear her. But things get hard. And just because it gets hard, that's just not a good enough reason to quit. Because if that's the case, why do anything? Things get hard. Times get hard sometimes. I'm sure we'll work out. One door closes, another one opens. Hang in there, sweetie. I've been there this year, has been that, So yeah, and I think, like I said, I know that things get difficult, and I know this, and then things get good, and things get easier, and they ebb and flow, and I have been blessed to have not had very many difficulties in the 12-year span that I've been doing my kind of thing. To be realistic, this is the first real hard time. And so I said, oh, you're going to be okay. You're okay. It feels bad, but it's not as bad as you think it is. You've established certain things, and you've overcome certain things easily in the past because of how you maneuver. Being in your life all these years, I knew 2025 was tough on you. One live we did, I saw it in your eyes, and I said, my friend is going through it. She will make it if we got to go back to the teach. And I appreciate y'all for always showing up the way y'all have always shown up. It means a lot because it also brings me back to when I initially started. I had so many moments where I was like, okay, quit, because it ain't working out right away. And that's the other reason why I couldn't just let 2025 keep slapping me around. Like, I was like, hold up, wait a minute now. Put your hand down, sir. Enough. We not too much on that. You're doing too much now, right? Like, I had to, but there were moments in the beginning where I kept my resume updated, and I was like, oh my gosh, this ain't working out. And I was living with my mom, so I wasn't missing no meals or nothing. But there were times when I was this close to quitting, and then something would happen and be like, nah, you got this, you're good. You're creative enough, you're talented enough to keep this going, to do this, to keep pushing, right? You can, right? And it would come, and it would work out, and I'd be like, whew, that was close, right? And then it would slowly work out, and then it would get a little difficult again. And then just in the nick of time, again, it would be like, nah, you're good. You're creative enough, you're talented enough, you're skilled enough, you can do this, right? And those were little moments, and they were brief, and they were quick, and I also have the safety net of being at home. And then I branched out on my own, and so for almost 10 of the 12 years, it was like, yo, you gotta make this do what it do, right? You gotta keep it going, you gotta keep it, afloat. And sometimes it was really hard, and sometimes it was like, and I'm gonna say, it was never horrible. And so when I felt what I thought was horrible, I freaked out. Like, there were freak out moments this year. This year, like I said, you've been just doing this to me. You've been doing that to me, and I've been like, no more. I quit. All right, chill out. Wait a minute. All right, wait. I need a minute. Can I get up? And I feel like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I feel like today, in a few days, like, every summer I have a moment where I'm like, you're fine. It feels worse than it is. And that's sometimes what I have to kind of consider. Okay, you feel this way. And that's valid, but is it that way? And that's not. And these things always come apart. But on that note, we finished our first little move. Our first little leg. Boom. And it's funny because this Hobby Lobby yarn, I don't know why, but it feels thinner than usual. So we got our first hoof. 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 We got our first hoof. H-O-O-F. And I guess we can work on the second one. We've got time, right? I know I don't want to keep y'all here all night. So we started at 7:30. I think maybe we could end at, 9 o'clock? What do y'all think? At 9 o'clock, we can be like, okay, that was a good use of 7:30 to 8:30, an hour and a half, right? Yeah. Because we're crocheting together. We're crocheting alone and together. This is a mix of the two. And it's cool to do it together, right? Because we get to sit and chat, right? While we work on the pattern. But yeah, so what I'm learning and, having conversations and sometimes saying things out loud helps. You got what you need. It's just you got to figure out how you need to apply it. Going back into the classroom and teaching isn't the worst thing. Look, I teach y'all all the time. We're always learning and sharing, right? It's what I do. It's what I've always done. It's not the worst thing in the world. I love teaching. It ain't like it's a job I hated doing. So going back to work for the man, it isn't the detriment that I felt like it might have been at one point. And I can't even say that because I was being dramatic because everything else wasn't working out. You know how sometimes when some things that you expect to work out don't work out, it starts to seep into other things and it makes other things feel worse than they actually are. Doing something that I love on a consistent basis it isn't the horror that other disappointments made it, This crochet business with its 3 components, the commission component where I'm crocheting custom dolls for people, the university component where we're here, I'm teaching you the wonderful, whimsical ideas and things in my head, and you're learning how to crochet in the context of this whimsical world of doll making that I've created. And then the yarn component where we are using my kind of string yarn for my own yarn company. It's difficult, but difficulty is just not an excuse to quit. It's just not. Things being hard to do is not enough to just be like, oh, then don't do it. I couldn't find a legitimate reason to quit. I just couldn't. I spent 12 years really working hard. And there are so many wonderful things that I think I've accomplished having committed so thoroughly to this. So when 2025 was trying to beat my behind, like really, really lay me out, I could not give myself a good enough excuse to quit. And it's that simple. However difficult this is, however having to start over to a certain degree, this is still not a good enough reason to quit. And so I'm not gonna. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult, whatever, that's how it be. I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, the first 12 years weren't difficult. Not even like when I think in terms of what I'm managing right now and what I'm trying to work through now. It's a cakewalk. So I won't complain. I won't say, oh, the tariffs. What the heck? Did it just bite me? Oh, I hope I didn't get bit. tell you, my aunt has plants. Try not to smack myself. Like, I felt something land on my head. You know, sometimes with all this hair, I'll be thinking it's just like, okay, she loves her plants, so we get bugs. But, like I said, I'm not gonna be like, oh, 2025, the tariffs, the economy, sure, it's a factor, but I come from the hood in the Bronx. I am one of 7 children. We grew up in a 3-bedroom apartment. The 7 children, the 2 adults, and sometimes other adults and friends and things. Yeah, it really bit my head. I think it bit me. Another aspect of the difficulties of 2025 are the outside changes that we will have no control of. But I definitely agree, it's not a reason to quit. There's nothing wrong with having to pivot. And that is what I'm having to do. And the issue or the feelings that I've been having are because I am not a pivoter. I am what would they call somebody like me who doesn't change, who doesn't do change well. I am very earthy, very fixed. I like routines and habits. I don't like when things change. And so that's something that I have to work on personally. And so that's also some of my difficulty, right? Not liking to have to move or change or pivot. And so, because I don't like it, I don't do it well, I don't cope well with it, so I have to kind of go through different phases and stages of resistance. So, but again, I'm not gonna trip too much. Yes, change be trying to get, that really bit my head. I hope I don't get a scratchy, itchy, because the mosquitoes on the porch get me so bad. They know who I am. I think they know who I am. Okay, side note. I'm going to get back to it. Side note. Like I said, my aunt loves her plants. She has plants all in the house, right? Ooh, I think that itches. But in the front, she has this huge tree. It's the freaking biggest tree. I don't know how many feet it is. No exaggeration. It's lots of feet. It's probably the height of maybe 4 stories. High, maybe 5. 4 or 5 stories. I don't know how many feet that is. Very, very high. It's a big tree. And there's bushes and things in her front. And so mosquitoes, they just love it there. They wait for me. They know when I'm coming. They're like, there she go. I got to run in and run out. Like, I can't linger. At one point I was trying to work on the porch. I'm like, yeah, let's be outside. Let's do lives outside. I can't do it. Because they know me, they're waiting for me, they know what I taste like, they know what I smell like. I think they know what I look like. And I think they're waiting in the bushes like, yeah, she coming, get her. Because I'm telling you, I stayed out front for like a few minutes to talk to her as I was coming in, and she was doing something out the front. And in that moment of me standing there talking to her, I get in the house. They bit me up so bad. I'm like, I ain't even see them. They're like ninjas. Oh, when I tell you mosquitoes are ninjas, because you don't see them. You just itchy. You got the itchies. When you come in, you got the itchies. And I'm like, these bastards got me so bad. Oh, whenever I stay out there longer than the whoop in and the whoop out, oh, they know me. They know me. They see me. They tell their friends, they're like, yo, get her. She right there, get her. They do it, and they get me, and I don't know, because I'm just like regular chilling. You don't feel them until you get, and then you got to itch, and through pants, because I'm wearing pants. I wear pants a lot. I'm not even out there in shorts. They get me through my pants, or at one point they were like, nah, she's sitting here. I'm sitting here, I'm fully clothed, like I got pants, I got socks, I'm not even wearing sandals, I'm wearing sneakers, I got stretchy pants, And maybe up here, but see, they don't get me here because I can see them, and I be like, I'll get you. So they know not to even go where I can see them. Ooh, they bit up my ankles so bad. They bit up my, like, I got marks on my ankles because that was the skin that was showing that they knew that they could get me unbeknownst to me. They knew it. They knew it, and they got me. And when I get in the house and I'm like, showering and getting ready, why am I so itchy? Oh, you got mosquito bites. They bit you. They got your ankles. Your ankles ate up. And it's horrible to get bit on your Achilles tendon. Horrible. Because you can't even scratch it right. It is, I'm telling you, that's the mosquitoes. The mosquitoes, they got it out for me, and I'm on to them, and I don't linger. We got to understand it. I'm not going to be out there. Whatever. Y'all got it. You keep the porch. I like it. It's nice, but because the bug repellent wasn't working. I'm telling you. Listen, they're ninjas. Think about it like this. This is how my brain is going, because I feel so strongly about this that I feel like in order for you to understand what I'm seeing, I need to crochet you a ninja mosquito, because the way they bite me up without my knowledge, I'm like, I think they're just flipping off the railings and off the chairs and off the furniture, and they're like rolling and tucking and rolling and getting to me, and then flipping off. I'm telling you, in my mind, that's how they get down. They sneaking and creeping, and they waiting for you to just be standing there, and they get you. I'm telling you. And mosquitoes, F them. Ooh, and if you wanted them, and you bit my head. I'm telling you, Chastity, I'm telling you, the amount of abuse. And I sprayed the off. I think they licked the off and then bit me like ketchup on a hot dog or mustard. I think the off is a condiment the way it didn't work. So my sister had patches. The patch didn't stay on my clothes. I don't even know what that's about to stay on everybody else's clothes. The patch didn't stay on mine, which leads me to believe they might have secretly kicked it off me or something. Like ninjas. What the hell? Kicked it right off. It doesn't stay on. I put the patch on my clothes. Yeah. And I'm one of those people. I think they put out an APB on me to the other mosquitoes and said, that's her right there, get her. My patch doesn't stay on. Everybody else's little repellent patch stays on. My niece's patch, my sister's patch. She handing out patches for everybody to put on them so that the mosquitoes don't get them. You think my patch stayed on? No. They kicked, I'm telling you. Okay, I'm not crazy, but I'm telling you, these mosquitoes are ninjas. I think that they worked to get the patch off me because my patch didn't stay on. And the patch didn't stay on, and they got me. So, F the mosquitoes. But like I was saying, before I got off on my tangent, I tell you, like I said, she loves nature, and I love nature too. But I'm going to have to figure something out because mosquitoes, they're getting me. I don't care about the other bugs too much. But mosquitoes, bugs that bite, like, I think that thing bit my head. But bugs that bite, I don't like that. And mosquitoes have been doing me dirty my whole life, even as a little kid. So F them. And I'm going to figure something out. Because now I feel like we got to go to war. But yeah, like I was saying, back before I understand that I don't adopt changes either. I'm not a spur of the moment kind of person. I love to plan every moment out, especially for a trip. And see, that's the thing. I'm not even that kind of person. I'm not 100% a planner. I am my most organized self as it pertains to work. And even that is loose. Like, I can schedule, okay, these are the days that we're doing these crochet alongs and like the parts, the components. And I could do that, right? But outside of that, I'm one of those people that's like, I move slow. The only thing I don't do slow is crochet. Everything else, I'm like, I don't like rushing. I don't like having to move fast. I plan accordingly in my head how things are going to go. And once I've decided how it's going to go, I don't deviate. Like today, I knew that I would be here at 7:30. I knew that there were things that had to be done in preparation for this. I knew that I was meeting my mom at 2. I know that my mom moves slow, and so when she says 2, it actually means like 3. I knew that prior to that, I would be, getting myself together, you know, responding to emails, sending out different things. I knew that I would be, just doing those things. And I do all those things at a pace that's never like, you got it, you got it, you got it. Like, I don't move like that. I don't like that. And I don't like when people decide or try to get me to do things to deviate the day of, because that was another thing. I had explained to my aunt, hey, nah, we didn't discuss that, because I would have told you, hey, can't do that because I'm doing X, Y, and Z. So I know you want me to do this, but I can't just do that. I'm not one of those people. Like you said, I'm not a spur of the moment person either. And I tell people, one of the best ways that you can respect me is to know that about me. Don't ask me to do nothing last minute, because the answer is no. Don't even fix your lips. If you think you're going to need me, you're going to need to give me at least 2 days notice. Do not call me the night before or the day before. It's a no. Even if I don't have anything scheduled, it's a no. Because I don't like putting unnecessary pressure on myself. I just don't. And it feels like pressure when there is nothing, and then you come along and you want to insert something there. I don't like it. So the answer is no. It's for my safety and yours. for the safety of the both of us, don't ask me to do nothing last minute, because no. I don't operate that way. And I don't want to operate that way. So I will not. And I'm okay with, people being upset about that, because for years, people were. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Either you be upset or I be upset. And I'm in charge of me. Why would I be upset? So you be upset. I'm not going to be upset. You go ahead and be upset and talk to me when you're no longer upset. But if it's a choice between you being upset and me being upset, oh, it's going to be you. And I'm okay with that. So yeah. And if you love me, you'll get over it. And if I love you, I don't, I'll give you the time you need to get over it. That's all. But yeah, 2025, boy, 2025 trying to do me dirty. And in the beginning, I was like, okay, 2025, you got it. Fixing my hair, dusting my freaking clothes off, getting up off the floor, wiping my tears, telling 2025, okay, you win, you got it. Like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I don't want to fight, I don't want to argue. You got it, you win. That's what I was telling 2025 for a few months, And the truth of the matter is, things haven't actually gotten better as of right now. They've in some ways gotten a little bit worse. But I don't feel the defeat that I felt in the beginning of it. Because I've come to the realization that, like I said before, stuff just be hard. And it's just not a reason to quit. So in the beginning, I was telling 2025, okay, you win. I don't want to fight no more. I don't want no more smoke. I'm good. You got it. I'm going to go work for the man again. And I'm going to be quiet, and I'm not going to say nothing. I'm not even going to call a toto or nothing. I'm going to just take this L. That's what I was telling 2025. But then I was like, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You know, what we're not going to do is we're not going to undo 12 years of the hustle. We ain't going to do that. I started looking at my old photos and my old designs and my old book, and even with all those courses and classes and crochet along live videos being deleted little by little, I said, wait a minute, because I got a lot of them saved, and I'm looking and I'm like, yo, remember when you did that dope thing you did again and again and again and again and again and again for 12 years straight? You better not let no 2025 do you like that. Like, who are you? You like, who are you letting it do you like that? I'm telling you. Like, and now I'm in a space, a headspace where I'm like, yo, how could you possibly, get to that point where you're just like, yo, I started really thinking about what I've done over the last 12 years. And I'm not even just talking about the epic designs that I think I've done. I'm talking about the other things that very few people even know I've done. I'm not even talking about the collaborations that were all loud, the collaboration with Lion Brand and the interviews and the conversations on these different platforms, the magazine features and designing I've done for the magazine. Those are the things that lots of people have seen and know. I'm talking about the things that very few people even know I did, that I felt like, oh, that was good. And when I started taking inventory of those things, I'm like, you're fine, get up. Because then you gotta, at first you're telling yourself, you gotta talk sweet. And you gotta, y'all know I put the Monday voice on, because I'm like, oh, look at you getting kicked and beat down by 2025. Oh, girl. Just tell 2025 you're sorry, and you won't, protest, and you'll just go quietly back to work. just do what he says. Right? With the Monday voice. And then I was like, after I took inventory of what I've done and what I want to do, because that's the other thing. To give up what I used to do, or no, what I've already done and established, and also give up what I aspire to establish, that's too much giving up. That was just too much. I'm like, nah, that ain't you. That's not what you're made of. Like, that's not you at all. And don't get me wrong, there are some difficult things that I still have to manage and I'm working through. I need time. And time does what time does anyway. So, yeah, I'm like, nah, we not 2025. You can kiss my whole tail. My whole, I'm not going to get, I'm not going to use foul language. Because I don't know what YouTube's rules are. But you can kiss my whole tush. You sure can. Because I didn't put too much effort and too much out and committed to too many things as it pertains to this to just be like, oh, it's over. Like, are you kidding me? Like, my whole retirement plan is built around what I've been doing. Like, what? So you gonna give up the old and the future? The past? And the future because of the present? Oh no, the present is the most temporary thing of all the things. See, that past, I got 12 years. And the future, I don't even know what that number is. If all goes well, what, 20, 30 more? Like, don't play with me. We're not doing that. 2025, chill out. And if you hit me again, I'm gonna hit you back. Like, that's how I'm looking at 2025 now. Keep hitting me. Or not even keep hitting me. You better not hit me again. And that bug. What bug is that? I don't know if it's a mosquito or not, but it landed on my head and it hurt when it landed. But 2025, you better not hit me again. Because I'm going to hit you back. Matter of fact, I owe you some hits. That's where I'm at right now. I owe you some hits. So 2025, come up in my face again, and you're gonna get hit. It doesn't even have to be provoked. Your presence is provocation enough. So that's where I'm at with it. Okay, I got kicked enough. By 2025, you're done. You're done. We're not doing this no more. No more kicking me. We're not doing it. And that's where I'm at today. That's where I've been kind of like slowly working myself up to, because every time I look at something that I've done, I'm like, nah, you can't quit. You're too good to quit. You've done too much to quit. You're too legit to quit. I'm sorry, that was corny. But I'm just saying, nah, we're not quitting. F that. I'm gonna keep going. And so that's where I'm at today. So hopefully how I feel about this has given you some extra, because I had some extra smoke for 2025, so much so that I can give you some of what I got left over. I got an overflow of, nah, y'all not 2025. No, we're not doing that. You're done. Like, that's enough. No more of this. No more kicking me. You know, and if you needed some support and some encouragement to tell you that you've gone and done too many things to just have this hard time be the straw that broke the camel's back, don't let 2025 trick you. You have gotten through a lot of things, and this is just another thing to get through, because it does end. It doesn't stay like this. So, and I don't know how much time I'm gonna need. I don't know. Listen, we all need it. And through talking through these things sometimes, I realize sometimes I talk myself into you're fine. You know, like I said, it was a Monday voice. I was like, oh, you getting beat up 2025. Tell 2025 to stop. You know, 2025, I had enough. She had enough. And I'm talking about me, and I'm talking to me, and I'm talking to 2025. And I'm like, she had enough. That's enough. Stop hitting her. She's on the floor already. Her nose is bleeding. Shoe done fell off. Clothes is ripped up and torn up. She's good. Like, stop hitting her. Stop hitting her. She can't do it no more. But then I'm also like, nah. You know, I'm up off the floor now. Stop playing with me. Like, we not doing this. You come over here again with the bull 2025, I'm going to punch you in your face. Because I had enough. We're not going to keep doing this. I'm not going to keep doing this. And so, because I'm not going to keep doing this, the other thing is I took inventory. I took inventory. You do this. I appreciate that. And like I said, I feel this, like I really feel this way. So much so that I'm just like, yo, we're gonna be fine. Things get hard sometimes. Things get difficult sometimes. It's just not a good enough reason to quit, because it's hard to do. You know, this is getting difficult. There are some challenges. That's not a reason. It's never been a reason to quit. It's just never been. So, because it's not a reason to quit, I shall not. So, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I'm just saying, I'm not going to do it. In 2025, like I said, you can play with me if you want to. Come back over here with that foolishness. You're going to get punched in your face, because I'm not getting hit again. And the thing is, I actually know how to fight. Like, I mean, metaphorically. And, you know, literally, right? But I'm too old for that. Grown-ups go to jail now for fighting. It's assault, whatever. But metaphorically, metaphysically, I know how to fight. Why was I getting beat down so badly, metaphorically? And it's because I wasn't fighting back. I was just getting hit, you know, and I was accepting it. I'm like, nah, you don't even do that. That's not even who you are. So, you know, I had to get up. I had to talk to myself. And I had to take the Monday voice off, because that's the other thing. You know, there are times when I have to self-soothe, right? And you have to kind of tell yourself the good things and the sweet things, and you have to use a special tone, because sometimes your mind and your heart can't take the other tone. So, you know, initially I was like, okay, get up, just get up. Get up. What do you need? What do you need? You have what you need? Do you have what you need? How do you need it? What do you have to do to get what you need? That tone. That's the tone that it reminds me of my mother when I was younger. My mother's rough and she can be really hard, but there are moments, because she's so hard sometimes, the moments when she wasn't stand out, and there is a sound, there is a feeling associated with it. And so when I talk to myself a certain way, it's like the precursor for what's going to be really, really rough. So it's kind of like getting picked up off the floor from falling really, really hard and maybe scraping yourself and, crying a little bit, and you got like tears and dirt and sweat and maybe a little bit of blood because you scraped or whatever. This is all metaphorically. And the person that's helping you get up, because I'm a grown-up now and it's not mom, the person also helping me get up is me. And so, speaking to myself nicely, and I'm saying, you're okay. I know that was hard. And let's clean you up. Let's fix those cuts. You're gonna be fine. Let's get your peroxide and let's get, let's work on this. And then there's a time period of that where we're cleaning the wounds and we're assessing the damage. And I'm dramatic on the inside, not so much on the outside, or maybe on the outside. My sister teases me about it all the time. But the dramatic me lays there and cries and is like, it's all over. I'll never be the same again. It's never gonna work out ever again. That's the dramatic me. And I also can separate the difference between when I'm being dramatic, when I know something feels bigger than it actually is. I know when I'm being dramatic, and sometimes I need it to see the absurdity of how much I'm just laying it on thick, how much I'm exaggerating, and sometimes I need it, and it's by myself. I'm mindful not to be too dramatic around other people, because I'm just like, the same person is like, oh, it'll never work out. This is it for me. It's all over. It's the same person that's like, if you don't shut up and get up and wipe your face and stop playing, shut up, get up, stop playing, So it shifted from that tone of care and concern and soothing to, all right, enough now. Okay, you have let this go on long enough. And the voice changes, and now it's like, hey, do what you need to do. You're not destitute. You're not. You know what I'm saying? You're not that. Get up. Stop playing. Now you dragging it. And so, and that tone is more assertive. It's more firm. It's more serious. And you have no choice but to respond accordingly to that tone, to those words. So sometimes you got to talk to yourself in different phases and stages. And I think I'm at the end of self-pity and shame and failure, or the feelings of those things. And now I'm like, all right, you're fine. Get it together. And the truth of the matter is, if I really assessed it and thought about it, I am fine. It's not so bad. You've had to start from zero before, and you weren't even nearly as talented and as creative or as established or as smart as you are now. Now you can do it even better, and it won't take you as long to start again or to fix or to pivot. So yeah, because with age and experience, you got this, so you're fine. And we went over 9, because I said 9, but it's 9:14. And we're going to be working on the rest of part 2 off camera, but I appreciate y'all for just crocheting together with me, with us, and listening to my little rants. And Hopefully the other sounds around didn't distract you all too much and weren't off-putting. If you're watching on the replay, thank you for joining. Um, we will be working on part 3. Oh gosh, I never know when what the creation schedule is. Hold on. Okay. Friday. Part 3. Sorry, I know I froze for a second. Friday is part 3. Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back here on YouTube. And do me a favor, make sure you like this video, subscribe, comment in the comment section. Hopefully, some of what I'm saying to myself is something that you can say to you and apply to you. And, if you're watching this video for a second time or a third time, and, just make sure you comment and whatnot, because commenting and liking and subscribing kind of moves me in a space where there are people that don't know we exist here. And it says, hey, this chick over there doing something dope. Maybe you want to see what she's doing. So, thank you so much, Linda. Thank you all so much for joining. And like I said, part 3 of the Uniqua the Unicorn crochet along, crochet together, will be here live on YouTube at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for always supporting. It means a great deal. And I'll see y'all Friday. Probably before that, but Bye, y'all.